going to start in just a couple minutes. If you'll notice at the bottom of the projected screen up here, you can see that if you're on a laptop, there's a website that you can log in, an address you can go to. You're going to be asking a lot of questions of you, and you're going to be maybe presenting almost as much as I am, perhaps. So isn't that shameful of me to borrow you for part of my presentation? But on your mobile device, on a tablet or a phone, you can just simply text my full name and those digits to that little 5-digit place, wherever that is. And you'll be able to respond to some of the polls that we're going to take of people. It should send you a text back, hopefully, that says something about, hey, you're ready to begin our poll. So a couple of things, I guess, as we get started, especially as I've noticed here and on my campus. So I'm Aaron Burke, I'm a professor at the Cypher campus in math. And I guess one of the things I notice if I go down the hall and I talk to so-and-so, or I don't go down the right hall and talk to so-and-so, either I find out really cool things that other people are doing that are super different than what I'm doing, or I miss out on some great things. So-and-so's doing this, and I had no idea they're doing this, right? And we don't always get a chance to talk to each other because we get in our own worlds. So I'm going to be asking a lot of that from you. What I would also ask today is that we're able to provide a lot of honesty, okay? And so I want this to be a room where we can say really what we're thinking and not what we think everybody wants us to say out loud, or the questions that we're expected to ask, or the answers that we're expected to give. Because a lot of people are doing different things and they are having a lot of different experiences. So honesty is going to be important, I think, for us today. Anybody having trouble getting into that system? If you are having trouble, is it your service? Is it self-service here? Or no? Maybe, possibly. Did it send you anything back? Yeah, so it's a 5-digit phone number you're texting, right? And then you send this, I guess. It might be slow in responding, possibly, too. That could be. So I'm going to have to click back and forth here. So I guess the first thing that I would like to do today is to just go ahead and get your opinions on this question. And if you will type in one word at a time and send it. So you'll have to send 2 texts, I guess, to this number. What 2 words most describe your experiences with Corequisites so far? You might text fun. You might text amazing. You might text confusing. You might tell us, oh, these are not the words that I'm getting. So you can send us 1 word at a time, enter, and then another word. You don't have to send 2 if you can only think of one thing, but as many as 2, preferably. See, frustrating is getting bigger. I guess that means we have a few more frustratings than others. Anybody ever done word cloud before? This is word cloud, by the way. So word cloud is the idea is you get this feedback, and the bigger the word is, the more people sent that response, right? So this is a word cloud. This can be a good thing to do with students sometimes. And we're making it anonymous, right? We're not saying that so-and-so sent frustrating. All these people sent frustrating. We're going to go hunt them down and want to know why they're frustrated. Okay, so we'll give you another 30 seconds or so if you have another word you want to submit. Math-tastic? Is that a word? Math-tastic. Yeah. I know something, it may be a little slow, sorry if it doesn't, if it's not appearing, if it's not working for you, I'm sorry. Hopefully it's working. Okay, so let me just, I guess, ask first. So I'm seeing some words that are somewhat neutral. So, you know, intense, that could be a really good intense, that could be, you know, maybe not so. Algebraic, I think, obviously, right? So some of these are neutral. But let's look at the big ones first, I guess. So frustrating, overwhelming, and impossible. Those are obviously standing out. More than one person sent those. And frustrating seems to be, since it's the largest, that means it got sent the most. Why are we being frustrated with this experience? So let me give you a scenario, and maybe you can give me some of the why. Even if you didn't send in frustrating. So you go in, you apply for a job, right? You apply for this job, and you say, okay, you know, I want to be a cashier. And you say, well, I'll tell you what. We're going to do two things. We're going to make you a cashier. We're also going to make you a manager. You're not ready to be a manager because you don't work here yet, but we're going to make you a cashier and a manager. We're going to make you do both jobs at the same time. How does that sound? What do you think? Yeah, right? How much money are you getting paid? You're getting both salaries if you do the job right. Yeah. So why is it frustrating? I mean, there are obvious things, right? But why is it frustrating? But why is it any different than just teaching two classes like you would normally teach two classes? How is it different? Yeah, it's about change, right? Like we are good at what we've already done, what we've always known, and now there's this thing that's different, yeah. It is tough, right? Yeah, you're having them get dressed and go out the door at the same time.
So where does that one separate the frustration that maybe on this comfortability and change cause versus what I'm actually experiencing?
And we have to adapt, right? Like this is not a dress rehearsal. This is it. It's really here and it's going on right now. And we have to adapt, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Those of you that are saying things like efficient, successful, those types of things, well, mathtastic, I guess it's in that category as well. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Any of you feel like, so, you know, at the beginning of the semester, you got to get the car started, get it all warmed up, and then, okay, now it's going, then we can go down the road, right? So with two courses, with one set of students, right, but you're getting through two courses, you only have to warm the car up really once, right? I mean, maybe it's a little more challenging to warm the car up, but you only have to warm it up once. So yeah, that means a little more efficient when we're going down the road. I agree. Any other thoughts on the positive stuff? Yeah.
I find that the students who would engage anyway for example will be extremely successful. And
What's different? Like, why is that?
What I'm saying is it's not much different. If they were seeing one in classes, I have about the same amount of students that are engaging and being successful, and those that are engaging aren't being successful. If I look at those that are engaged that are not being successful, it's about the same, actually a little bit less.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, just add something else. Is it possible that overwhelm, frustrating, challenging, if you look at it, you're kind of the same word, just different perspective?
Absolutely. Right, like this is all the same co-rec world, isn't it? Like we are not living in different worlds, all teaching different things. This is all the same co-rec. We're all in it. Right? Why is it that some of us are having this experience and some of us are having a completely different experience? Right. So that's what I want to find out from you today, certainly. And so this is a good first one. Let's go ahead and look at.
Sir, can I?
Yeah, sure.
I was just thinking, when I say my success rate, I was thinking back, I looked at let's say I have 75% success rate in the open or 75% success rate in compound. 75% and 75% of 9/16. That's all just a little bit above half from one to the other. But, so that means if I do a little bit above half in the co-rec, that's the bring out that. So if I have 9/16 in the class as a co-rec, that would be, in a certain sense, equivalent to 75% higher each. So when I have a higher than that in the co-rec, then I see that's where my efficiency and more successful kind of comes in.
Absolutely. Yes. Okay, so let's look at this question for you. How quickly do you think the co-rec material goes? I mean, technically, it is 2 courses. We do meet for, about 48 hours each. But if you would respond to A, B, C, D, or E, how quickly you feel?
Are you asking for the pair or the co-rec form?
I'm asking for, for the pair together. Yeah, for them to get through both in one semester. How do you feel it goes? Or maybe a combo of how you feel and how your students seem to feel?
So both courses together are failing.
Yeah, so getting through both courses with that group of students, right? Does it go the same? Does it go more quickly? Does it go more slowly? So we're getting a good mix. Any of you feel particularly strongly about that one way or the other? Yeah. Lots of time, right? And the existence of the co-rec, the idea is it exists to support the student passing 13, 14, right? Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else have a strong feeling one way or the other on it? No? All right. Way too quickly, huh? Do you sometimes feel like you fall behind? Yeah. Is it because the students aren't able to keep up because of that lack of prerequisite knowledge, because they're not ready when they arrive? Okay. Fair enough. Let's also look at this one, because I found this to be some matter of debate. How important is it for you to have a quality textbook for your co-requisite course? are saying in the somewhat to quite important range. We have a little bit up on the AV scale, I guess. What is it about a textbook that is really important to you? Yes.
I think, so I believe that earlier.
Okay.
And I think though that a textbook is only as good as the instructor and how they choose to use it. So you just heard, that we use our textbook. If the instructor chose not to use it, the student wouldn't use it either. So we have to help the students see that the course materials, whether they're OER, whether they're textbook, whether they're whatever it is,
Yeah.
we have to help them see the value of it too. But with that being said, the textbook that we use allows instructors, gives them the framework for, here's how, and puts all those academic mindset into it, as well as it's really friendly for the students to read as well.
And just so everybody knows, so will you tell them where you are and what book you use? Just
Hello, I'm Madeline Rhodes from Willis Arcade. And we use, you want me to say what we use?
Yeah.
Okay, so for college algebra, we use Miller Durkin's college algebra. And then for our support course, we use the Messersmith Power series. In the interest of transparency, I should say that I recently will then as a co-author on it, but that did not impact our decision to use it for years ago. But she uses academic mindset into that for the students' process.
That's a good question. On all the trees, Correct. Is it really user friendly or something like that?
It is so what we made for the students is one package that has both books. But yeah, totally, we've been using this book for I think 4 or 5 years now. And our students have really liked it in that courses. And so for them to move from that structure, linear structure to the mind structure was really easy because books are user friendly for the students to read. In fact, that was one of the things we get out of it. And the students are actually reading it. And also our instructors can help us.
What are we using? Makes it awful lot television subject way too complicated. Doesn't make it so the students are
join me.
A bigger picture also includes the support materials that come with the textbook. We're currently using Vile as support platform for Vile is seriously lacking. In the combo for the support class, there are entire chapters where there's virtually no problems available that are screen reader accessible. So we've taken a huge step backwards in terms of ADA compliance. Moving to the book. One of the other concerns is that even though the books are both written by the same authors, they don't mesh. One big glaring problem is when we talk about domain. In the support book, the questions are all specifically geared to what numbers don't work. And then in the college algebra book, it's what is the domain. And so students don't see the difference in how those questions are asked and want to know why it was correct here and not correct now. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Absolutely. So, imagine, and I don't know if anybody does, but imagine you work for a textbook company, and all of a sudden, there's this really big state in the union that decides they're going to do this brand new thing, right? I mean, calculus has been calculus for hundreds of years, right? You look at any book, you see this, and this, and this, and it's always this, and here's the proof, blah, blah, blah. Codework, ready, go. We've given you not very long to prepare anything, right? So I think and I'm not defending the companies, right? But what I'm saying is I think they have great intentions, but I think they haven't had time to really develop something that will grab all of us, right? And we'll go, yes, I believe in that product, right? So, yeah, you're right. How many of us use some sort of a My Math Lab product? Okay, so a good percentage. How many people use an Alex type of a thing going on? Anybody use something completely different that they want to tell us? What do you use? You created your own. And how did you create your own?
Presenting this act.
Oh, okay, okay, all right. Yes,
I'm one of those slightly
okay,
specific for my class. I use Alex, self-paced, and Alex program itself has all of the necessary content. With textbook attached to it, just provides additional content. And the students rarely use that additional content. So what book I select really doesn't impact my class. That said, I think it's very important to have quality textbooks for adjuncts who don't have the same options.
I agree with you. I agree with you. So I'm going to share just a little bit of data that I have collected from my students. I wonder if you asked your students the questions that I just had you respond to, if they would respond similarly, if you feel, if they would respond differently than you did. I was a little surprised, somewhat, and not so much other. So I have asked 3 sections now of Corequisites. How quickly does the course material go for you? And these were the responses that I got. Almost 60% of the students said that it went slowly in some way. That seems to be matching what some of you are saying. And most of them at the moderate to very slowly pace is what they thought. The other thing, so the next thing I asked, how important is a textbook to you? Does this surprise you? How many of you have students and you know, like they told you they didn't buy the book, or they, you know, they've never logged in to look at the book, right? Or they don't ever use the book. That happens, right? So most of mine, certainly 95% of them say not very much, right? So are you seeing this in your own students, or do you see them? Because a lot of you that teach by the book, that is very important, right? So one reason that I have this for mine, and it may look very different what you do, I don't refer to a book ever. There is a book. They should get it. They should have it. It's actually not a purchased book. It's open source. They're not required to actually purchase a text. But I never use a book. I never point them to the book. I never reference a book. If you take my course and you take it outside and I have a stick and dirt, I can teach math, right? Like that. I just don't refer to a book at all. So that is me. It's very different than a lot of people, and I think it's very different than we want to approach our adjuncts, right? Like I think for adjuncts we really need, because they go from place to place to place to place, right? And they have to teach things in maybe a particular order at a different place or use a different system. And there's all this time that they have to spend doing that. That's not something we can necessarily expect in adjuncts. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. So yeah, I would consider like a workbook or a supplemental piece of material. I would consider that text. I think that really is. Yeah. Yes.
I just find that students say they're going to use textbook, and then they get, but the students that do less in my class, all of these are classes, they know how to read the textbook, they know how to read the textbook, anyone knows their skills. And then I have the other students, and it's generational as well, come in and say, I spent 3 hours going all over the internet looking for a video to tell me how to do this. And I say, why didn't you put the video on the plus? And I'm like, why didn't you open your textbook and just read it? And they doesn't encourage that. Where their mindset, and this is one of the struggles that I'm having between I did teach pretend and I did teach Joshua, and I saw a mentality, academic mindset that is different. It's a maturity. The students that are lower feel that they come in, they listen, they should go home and immediately start doing their homework. But not looking at anything. It's like, I did it 2 days ago when I was in her class, but for some reason I can't do this. Oh, I'll close it off and I'll go back. And then it goes out. Whereas when they're more successful, they realize that they have to look at something. Their notes are only just this good. I do most of all my notes. And I have to print the notes and write on notes. Some of them are still 8 weeks in and out saying, oh, you post your notes.
Why didn't you tell me that before? How could you have hidden that fact from me, right?
See,
Absolutely.
when every person in hand them to, used to do,
That's right.
they don't see it. I'm doing it because I found somebody in the garden, as not been
I use the textbook, because, yeah, the 13, 14 instructor, the textbook, my favorite was the problem. All over the problem, you know, problem, just one solid light. So that's why I use the textbook, as a training reference for the students, 13.
Mhm.
On the 0314, well, on the pre-development course, they go hang out in charge of the course or something on the course. However, on the 13, the textbook was in there, is a big word, between the 13 and 14 instructors.
Yeah. Absolutely. And to go back to what you said, why will they spend 5 hours looking on the internet when they could have spent 5 minutes looking in the book? And it's because it lacks an academic mindset. But I think maybe an explanation for that is because it's their life mindset. It's what they're used to. I go through life and I do what I'm doing. And when I stumble on something that is unfamiliar or I don't know, I pull out and I Google or I YouTube it, and now I have the answer, and then I keep going. And that's just what they're used to, right? So, yeah, right? Some of them maybe, attend lots of sessions, right? Talking about how to teach students just to read the textbook, right? How to take notes in the textbook, yeah.
The form that is great ISD.
Okay.
Not have a district policy that textbooks don't go home unless they're specifically requested.
Yeah, that's very common.
And
Getting more
they're
common.
not allowed to get more than 10% of the grade go home. So very few of the teachers in high school are even assigning them.
Yeah, have you read this in newspapers, right? Like the trend to not assign homework and not have students bring things home, and that's kind of the thing that's gaining traction around the nation. So I want to move on to one thing, and I want to just sort of shift gears, and this may seem a little out there, and this is not just a question of maybe sort of A, B, C, D, E that is easy for you to answer when you think about it. But I asked my students this because it actually just kind of, I stumbled upon it and I said, I'm going to ask this because I really wonder, do you ever wonder what they really think of you? Right? Like what do they actually think of what I'm doing or what we're doing, what they're doing, this whole experiment that we're actually doing? So I asked my students, I said, in your opinion, what do you think I value as an instructor? That was my question to them. What do you think I value? They don't know, right? We're not friends. We haven't hung out for 10 years. They just see me as a math teacher, right? So I put the top things that I got here, and the one thing that I have liked is that the responses that I got have been, this is like maybe perhaps my only saving grace for what I've done for Corec. In their opinion, what I think is important is exactly what I think is important. And I got congruent answers with what I believe as an instructor. Okay, so this is a poll of, there were a total of 62 students that have taken this poll. And these are the top 5 responses that I got. And I do feel that these 5 are probably some of the most important things to me. I want them to understand the material. Obviously we want them to pass their T14, right? Like that's the D. That's the holy grail of this whole experience, right? I need them to practice regularly, right? Isn't that so important? I need them to do that. And Natalie, you were talking about in your session, they need to ask questions. Like if you don't ask questions, this is not a thing you're going to be able to do, right? I'm a big deadline guy. I know a lot of people, they'll leave, they'll go and they'll reopen the homework, and it's okay, And I get that. I think being forgiving is really important as an instructor, right? Being an instructor is about giving. It's also about being forgiving. But I'm real strict on deadlines. It's due this day. Ask me the next day. Can I turn it in? No, you can't. I'm sorry. I love you enough to say no. Well, so it was the 4th highest thing, right? There were lots of things that appeared that only got 3 or 2 or 1 mentioned, right? So I didn't even give them an option. I said, free response, what do you think I value? And the fact that 7 people said the most important thing was meet deadlines, part of me felt a little uneasy about that, right? Like, I don't want them to think necessarily that's the most important thing, but some of them did. And some of them at least mentioned that they should feel comfortable, which I thought was nice. So my question to you is, and I want you to think about this, what what do you value? Or what do you think, if I were to sit in your class, what would your students believe that you value as an instructor? And I think that's important. I'm going to make that important for the next few minutes as we move forward. I want you to just think about it for a second. What would they think you value? Is it yelling at them to do homework? And we're all guilty of it, right? We all do it sometimes, right? What would they say? Anybody want to be honest and tell us what would your students say?
Well, what I value as far as I get into it, a lot of really behavior, a lot of now change that we have to really work value out there. Work, yeah, work out there.
Absolutely.
Work off of this to see. That's what I value.
I'm super explicit with my students. First, come to class. Second, do your own. Third, know your rhythm. Fourth, do the work.
Okay, fair enough.
Success.
Success.
Right. In addition,
Okay. So how do we get there? What is it, when you say success, what do you mean? Like them passing or?
That's the course, they were bigger about like this is the.
Okay. Anybody else?
They have to go to class, they have to notes, they have to do the homework on time.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
So before COVID, my thinking was come to class, do the work, ask questions, and your will pass. Those are the three things I value. After programs, those are still the three things I value. But I also added empowerment to that because whether or not they pass college algebra, we have the opportunity in this support course to give them something, right? And if that something is factor a million times, cool, if that's the problem you're trying to solve. But in our support course, we wanted to empower them to feel confident for next semester, whatever, no matter what happened this semester. So that I think is, I don't know that like being the administrator of those courses, I don't know that I do the best job of it, and so I feel like twitchy even thinking about it. But I know that our support instructors are doing that, and so that makes it okay, and that is what we value.
Absolutely. Yeah, one more.
I'm just gonna say I agree with what Marilyn is saying. They can, I think it's hard sometimes the way our college is structured to see progress. Because I mean, you got 16 weeks and you grade at the end. And you could be making a lot of little progress underneath. But if that's what I think is important for us to analyze, to show that the progress that's made underneath, and that kind of will buoy them for the next semester. So
I agree. Okay, so if you'll humor me for just one more minute about this. Try to make it short, don't type a sentence, make it one word, make it a 2 or 3 word phrase maybe. Send us what you value. What is it that you value? What is it that you want to make real and present and also valuable to your students as well? What do you want them to value? Success is a big one. These are good things. Do we teach honesty in math class other than, hey, don't cheat, don't look at that paper next to you? Do you teach that? I don't know. Effort. It's all about students, I think. Is that what we're saying? That it's really about them? Because we can sit here and be frustrated, we can be excited, right? it's about them. Yeah. These are good. Okay, we'll give you a few more seconds and then we'll close that. Achievement, that's good. Opportunity. Understanding. That can be tough, right? Especially when we have our own bad days to be understanding. Okay. Well, I appreciate honesty on that. What do you think? Anything jump out at you? Effort, yeah. Success seems big. Success is a big thing. Yeah. And the trick, right? The trick is your values and the students' values aligning, right? Then we can move forward better. Then we do a better job. Then everybody's on the same track. Okay, so we'll close that. Anybody been to any grit stuff lately, or you do grit in your own class? What is grit? We talk about this. Somebody wrote about grit. How many people have read the book about grit? This book about grit? What did you think of that? Like, why is it cool? Why are people talking about it? Yeah, why is grit cool? I think so.
Why? Okay, I'm gonna answer.
No. Well,
What's the meat, guys? So, I'm gonna answer that in the context of math. I read a book called Math of Bad Times by Ben Hook, and he writes a blog. And he met Emma Wiles, so if you know which Wiles is he, yeah, okay, cool. He's all Vermont's, yeah, exactly. And he got the chance to meet him, and he said, when talking to him, he was like, I can ask any question I want, this is the thing for me. And they had a conversation about the state of being stuck. And essentially,
Yeah.
we live in a state of being stuck as mathematicians. We have a problem, and we're like, dude, I don't know how to get from here to here, like on a noodle line. Or else, I'll try working and maybe I'll see something else. Our students don't have that, and particularly when it comes to math, how can we get them to be okay with being stuck and not want to give them up, want to just be like, it's fine, whatever. By the way, blood will be a fall, you guys will know. But,
Nice.
yeah. So, that being said, grit is just the stick-to-itiveness, and what I think about it, I think that it's cool, but I don't know how we get our students from that point. Like, we have to start where they are, and how we get them to that point. Like, that's the question, right?
Yeah. And we start with their talent, I guess, right? So this is what grit says, we start with their talent. And a lot of you told me this already. And we add effort. Effort was the big thing. And we get skills, right? We get skills. What is it they say? So somebody who can't improve is no different than somebody who won't improve, right? Maybe you have all the talent in the world, but if you're not going to put any effort in, then you're just not going to get there, right? All right. And then also in grit, we have this. Skills plus effort equals achievement. What do you think? If I have skills and effort, do I get achievement? Do you agree with that one also or no? Yeah, you think so? The problem with this though, right, like when you show it to math people, what do we start to do? Do you see this as a system of equations? I do. You start doing stuff like this, right? Which makes no sense at all. Maybe you're more of an elimination person, I don't know, right? But it is important. You guys are doing that stuff, for sure. How many of you, especially last semester, or maybe this is the first semester you're doing Corequisites, how many of you laid all your plans and all your foundation, and you made that syllabus, and then you went out, and by week 2, what had happened? It was all out the window, wasn't it? How many of you had that experience? Yeah, right? Yeah. Did you go completely out of order? It's like you took the syllabus, you just put it in a little cup, and you shook it, and you dumped it on the table, right? So this is what happened to me. This is I want to talk a little bit about some different formats. Natalie, you have mentioned that at Kingwood, you have a lot of separate instructor sections going on. At Sci-Fair, we do a lot of single instructor. We've only had a couple of separate instructor sections of Corec, and we do a linked model so that if I'm teaching, if I'm only teaching 03, 04 and somebody else is teaching 13, 14, then all of the students in my class go as all of the students in so-and-so's class, and they stay as a cohort together. Okay? There are whiskered models where you have these options with these sections which you feed into these sections, so you're at least getting some of that, but not all the way. So I guess how many of you are doing mostly separate instructor? And what are the goods of that? What are the bads of that? What have you experienced? Yeah. And then there's twice, you were talking, I think, in yours, there's twice as much chance that somebody will buy into one of the two people they're working with, right? Because they don't just have one personality to work with. How many of you really, really like having the one instructor model? You do both, and you really like that? And why is that really working? Any of you? Yeah. You have more control over it, right? Because it's all yours, right? The whole thing, yeah. You can directly see what they're getting and not getting on both sides, right? And then you can be flexible there, yes.
The longer I have students in my class, the more they have to adjust to different styles and that's really big on me. I go on getting and break them to start critically and not to just memorize. So I have
I've been doing Alex courses since 2010, both in K-12
So
and
at the
college.
beginning, I would say a lot of my students probably now during the
22 sections
my
of
class.
Alex over
And we
at
just
Paris.
go
So
through
if you'd like to, I'd
and
love
just
to come and
working at it.
and
And
let's
it's kind of like,
and
I'll be way behind where the professors are.
ways you can build it with different things built into it. The biggest thing was making
Towards
weekly
the end, I'll be
objectives.
10.
And
it's
that
kind
way,
of
you
possible
can
again.
really
So the longer I have, I go,
and not getting
it's the way.
But I've got years of experience I would love to share.
Well, like, I used to be an engineering instructor at another college a while back. And engineering in particular, there's a certain way of thinking, a certain way of approaching problems. And we only had like 2 engineering professors. They come into my engineering class or the other engineering professor class, and they would be able to think critically. And they would just drop like flies at the beginning, just switch over to business, whatever. But eventually, if they stayed long enough and came with us, I started seeing that the way they're thinking starts changing. And the co-rec is so many hours that I'm actually seeing that in a developmental students class. Like at the beginning, I'll think these people, normally, just like an 0310, I would think, there's no way, I know as a teacher, there's no way you're gonna pass, I'm gonna do my best, but I kind of know who are gonna be my failures. But I have a strict attendance policy. They keep coming. I've been surprised that somewhere around the middle, their mind, the way they're thinking, the way they're approaching starts to shift. They start to try to say, if I'm gonna pass this class, I gotta understand the why, critical thinking, understanding behind it. And it takes about a half to 3/4 for that switch to happen. And then it starts to happen. And with just one instructor, they wouldn't get used to that with me. They would have another person do something different perhaps. So I'm completely against 2 instructors. I told my yesterday, if at all, I really don't want to do it. I would rather teach double the students I had to than math.
And it's funny because, man, like you go one place and then like one instructor is the way to go. You go another place, you're like, no, team's got to teach this. They got to do it together. So, and lots of things are working different places. Okay, real quick, 2 more surveys. So list 3 qualities, please, that you would want if you were a student sitting in a co-rec class. What are 3 qualities that you would want that instructor to have? Be honest. Be honest. Yes.
So should they be doing qualities then, like, if you got one instructor, that person teaches the same person teaches coding in college, should they have different qualities, different qualities, the same person, whole class?
Yeah, right, because then you have 6 good qualities. Okay, real quick, because I don't want to keep people from their lunchtime. So just another 10, 15 seconds. Anything else you want to add in there? And then we'll go ahead. These are great, right? Encouraging, that's good, but that's the biggest word out there. Patient, cooperative is large. Patient and patience, right? Those are really the same, so we got a lot of patience on the screen. That's nice. Are you all patient? I see some patient faces out there. You've been patient with me today, so that's good. Okay, good, thank you for that. And then one more, please. List 3 qualities that you would not want in a co-rec instructor. List 3 that you would not want. And don't just say the antonym of every word that you put on the first one. Give it some thought. Flexible, inflexible. Patient, impatient. All right, we'll give you another 15 or 20 seconds to think of something unavailable outside of class. Thing you got. Rude. Nobody wants somebody rude and inflexible. Don't be boring. Right? All that stuff. Okay. So, can we go to church together just for a second? Can we do that? So looking at this, how many of you would want to be in a co-rec class where the instructor is encouraging, knowledgeable, patient, fair, cooperative, innovative, intelligent, available, flexible, all that stuff? How many of you would want to be in that section? Good, put your hands down. How many of you will admit that sometimes you are not those things? And I'll admit it too. It happens, right? Okay, cool. And so, let's make sure. How many of you would want to be in a class where the instructor is rude, inflexible, boring, unapproachable, confusing, angry, lazy? How many would want to be in that? How many of you will admit that at some time you are like that? We all are, right? Okay. Be honest with yourselves, have integrity with your students, align those values. That's all I have to say today. Thank you for coming.